Hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome to another session with Creative Bright Studio. Today, I want us to design a very simple signpost, for my church. So let's get doing. You go to File, create a new Photoshop file. I'm using 20 inches by 28 inches. Okay, so the width is 20 and the height is 28 and the resolution is 200. All right. Okay, so the first thing is to give the information here. It's a signpost, so I'm giving the information already. I'm going to use the Montserrat font. Okay, so the name of the church, Deeper Life Bible Church. Now the reason why it is slanted here is because I have activated this italic sign here. So let me take it off. So Deeper Life Bible Church here. That mango. Then the location, you have the central, that's Central Church. Okay, so I want to import the logo. So you click file, you go to place embedded. Then let's locate where the church logo is. So I go to CBS tutorials, signboard, church. Alright, so I have the logo here. The screen looks small, so I use Ctrl+O to give me the normal view. Right, so I have something like this. Okay, so 71 is okay for me. Then let me choose black. So I also want to increase the font of this one a bit. Alright, so you can see that the text are jagged, so let me put them and align them. So I press the Control key and then click on each of them. So this deselect it and I click on each one of them. It selects. Then I use the alignment, so the left align, so I'm able to align it as I want. Okay. Let me increase the church font a bit, to be bold, so that if somebody is coming from far, able to know that this is the church. Alright, so left align, that's fine. Now I want to use a rounded rectangle, so that at least it creates some visual feel, separating the logo from the name. Alright, I want to borrow a color from here, so I click on this particular icon here and I select this color for Alright, so let me reduce the thickness a little bit. Control T. Alright, I'm not able to control the line very well, so I'll use the zoom tool here. Good, the magnifier tool. Then I can now apply the Control plus to make sure the layer is selected. Control plus T. Now I can now move, control it as I want it. Very nice. So Control plus O to send it back to the view. Okay. So this is what we are designing. So we have the name of the church, Central Church. Then we go to the heading, the weekly activities. So let's work on the weekly activities. All right, so I have the test weekly. So it is in a rectangle with a shadow and then a stroke around it. All right, so let me go for a rectangle. Nice. So the rectangle is sitting on the text, so you can come to the layer and then drag it below it, right, so that it comes in. And the reason why you're not seeing the text, because the text is black and the color of the rectangle is also black. So I double click on the text layer and then click color white so that I get the color I wanted. So I go back to the rectangle layer, it's color red, so I choose this color. You can click here or click the any one of them goes. All right, now let me work on the shadow. You can see there's some shadow here. Quickly let me work on that one. So the easiest one of my ways of doing is I can replicate this layer using Ctrl+J. It replicates for you. Let me go back, or you can drag it to this new file, then you have it also done for you. All right, so one is sitting on the other, they are the same thing. So let me use the one beneath, because that is where the shadow is going to be. So I double click on this here, then I choose color black because of the color of the shadow. Now because it is sitting on it, the red one is sitting on the black one, you don't see it well. So what I'll do is that I'll use my Ctrl+T to select it, then I pick my warp tool here, then I hold the controls and try to drag it down. Let's see, beautiful. So you can see that it's creating some nice effects. So let me push these ones inside. Yes, I don't want them to show. The focus is at the tail end here. Very good. Yeah, so I have it done for me, but that is not all. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I want to convert, this is a shape, I have to convert it to be like an image. Then from there I can now create my shadow effect. So I go to filter, then go to blur, then Gaussian blur. Then it's asking me, do I want to convert to smart object and rasterize? I choose rasterize because I don't want to go back to it again. So rasterize, and then you can increase the what they call the radius. You see the effect is creating here. Very good. So you do it, and then when you are okay with the results, you click OK, and then you reduce the opacity of the shadow so that it gives you the kind of a shadow effect there. Very good. Now I go to the next stage, is what the church meeting, Sunday worship service, Monday Bible studies, and Thursday revival and evangelism training services. So pick my text tool, use the letter T. Now let me start typing. You see, you don't see anything on the screen because the foreground color is what, white. So writing with white on white, you don't see anything there. All right, so I always encourage beginners, anytime you're doing, check your colors to see whether you're using the correct color for the writing. So let me click on it, and then I can pick color black from here or from here. All right, so with the text to selected, let's type. So I have Sunday, highlight it, and then type Monday Bible study. Let me drag it down. So this is what we have, Monday Bible study. Very good. Another way to copy a layer, you can click on a layer and press Ctrl Alt plus Shift and then drag down. Is another way of copying what a layer. So I've done a copying like that. So you have the Thursday. All right, so I have this one here. Yes, so let me randomly put them here. Then I talk about the time. So time, we have 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. Yes, like I did for the others. Just click on it, click on a layer. While the mouse pointer is on that particular text you want to copy, you press Ctrl Alt and then the Shift, you just drag it down. Yeah, so the next thing is, let's go back to our work. You have I'll do the formatting later. You have a writing here, the Bible text saying, earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. So I click and drag to create a text box. Yes, text box is a container that helps you to control the text you want to write. So you have, and now mind you, one of the sickness of graphic designers is typing mistakes. So I would advise that next time you can type it somewhere, especially Microsoft Word, that helps you to see any mistakes in the work before you just copy and come and paste it in Photoshop. If you type it this way, often you may not see the mistakes, and then after you finish printing it, realize that boom, you've blasted there. All right, so let me check earnestly content. Now I'll come to the formatting. All right, okay, so I'll choose the main ones to be this way, and then the dates, sorry, the time, I'll use Montserrat regular, and then the color is what, 11, at least to create a contrast between the two, that people's eye can see that okay, this is the main, there's another information. If I use the same text, it wouldn't create that kind of the effect that I want. Work here, you see there were some changes at the top because this and this, the weekly service and the rectangle are not in alignment. Good, so I just aligned it, the center alignment here. All right, so I have this ones neatly aligned. Let me adjust it with the eye. Okay, so I have it, yes, neatly done for me. Okay, let me use arrow key to nudge it a little bit, but it still appears to be out. You see that there's more here, so let me click and select this one. That's another way of selection. And then good, I use the left arrow on the keyboard using my eye to gauge this one and then do the alignment. All right, now look at how to create this one. All right, so what I did was to download and then did some few editing. So let's go to Ctrl+O. So you go to the button here, you click, and like this is what I downloaded online. So I'm going to just pick one out. So let me pick the one that corresponds with the work I'm doing, the colors I want. So I go to the quick selection tool, right, and then you gently click around it. So you see it beautifully picks it out for me. I use Ctrl+J to do the selection. Let me turn this one off. You can see that it is what selected for me. So I just pick it out, drag it to, and then bring it into my work here. All right, so can use the eraser to just clean inside. Now see, because the background is white and I cleaned inside, you think that there's nothing there, but this is what you see. You can see there's a hollow here, but because I'm working on a white background, you don't see me think that they are the same. All right, so what I do is that I will write in the press T to bring the text to. Okay, so I have this figure 1 here. Okay, let me align it. So I press Control and the particular layer, that is the button layer, then I align it this way and then center. All right, so let me pick it and make it color black. So let's make it color black. All right, okay, so one of the things I love about this, you can just group it, select the two layers and then press Ctrl+G to group it, and then you can Ctrl+J to copy, Shift Alt plus Control to also to copy. So I just click BTN2, 1. All right, so let me reduce the size. So whilst your finger is on the control, you can select them. Control plus T together to align your work very well. All right, so now we have the general superintendent picture here. So let me bring it on board. But before that, let's look carefully. You can see some pattern in the work. So let me bring that one first of all before I go for his picture. So let's go to place embedded. Then I pick the pattern here. Okay, all these are online. You can get the resources online and then use for your work. So Control plus T, and I drag it at least to make it much more proportional. Let's see. All right, that's okay. So because it is the first layer here, that's why it's sitting on top. So what I'll do is that I'll click and then drag it to the last layer, right? And then I'll reduce the opacity. Reduce opacity. The pattern is not the focus is the text. So make sure that the most important items of your work are always showing, and the least important ones can still be. Yes, nice. So now let me bring the picture of the general superintendent. So I have his picture here, okay, which I edited out. All right, in one of our tutorials, I'm going to show you how we are going to crop out a picture. Very good. So let me try and increase. Nice one. All right, so the next item is the Bible text here. So let me select with T. I select and I use the font any font could do, just to create some contrast. So I use the Nueva bold. All right, let me reduce the font size a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. And then italic. Great. Okay, so it must be clear for people to see and read. All right. Okay, so that's the next item. The next item is an arrow here and the social media link. All right, so where do I go for my arrow? Go to the custom ship. Now with mine, I have uploaded a lot of custom shapes here. Okay, so out of it I picked this particular arrow, but you can download arrows online or use the one of your own choice. Okay, so I click and drag the arrow. Okay, so because it's going to be a signboard, we need the arrow to point at the right direction. Okay, so let me change the color of the arrow here. Now I want to show you a little bit the trick here. When you click on the shape, you see you don't see the characteristics. When I click on this one, I'm not able to change the color unless I double click here. So you press U on the shape tool here and it brings the stroke and the fill for you. So when I click on the fill and then the gradient, I have some presets gradient here, so I go for the red here. At least it matches with the weekly activities, so that is it here. Now let me add some shadow because there is a stroke around it. Very good. So it adds the beauty, brings the beauty of the arrow. Now the last thing is our social media logo. So we use the Facebook. So let me go for the Facebook logo. So Control plus O. I go to my portfolio tools. As a designer, you try to compile a lot of things you use, okay, and organize them very well so that anytime there's an opportunity, you can easily grab and then use it. Very good. So I have Facebook here. I click and drag into my work. All right, so I have the F let me put circle around it. Okay, good. All right, now let me put it on top, and then take off okay, good. Let me reduce the stroke size of the circle. The way you can download this also online. Okay, you don't have to stress yourself doing all these ones, but it's necessary for the practice too. I didn't do any editing again. Then I go for the text for the logo for the social media handle. So deeper live Damongo. All right. Okay, so let me use the Montserrat to give me all right, so far so good. Let's see the last item. Okay, I have a star here. How do I draw the star? I go to the shape, custom shape, and let me look for a shape that looks like a star. All right, these are all custom shapes. I downloaded my machine for the work. You can find lots of them online. Okay, and then you share it and use it for your work. So I'm looking for a star. Okay, I have one here. Right, let me go for this one. So I click and drag and I have it there. Let me change the color to white, the stroke off. Okay, let's see. Very good. So it is just there, at least to add some. All right, so far so good. We've come to the end of our tutorial today. Thank you very much for following through, and wait for more tutorials. So I'll encourage you that you take your time and go through, pause the video from time to time and practice it. And don't forget to like, share, and then subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. Have a